Well, we can't tell you how certain we are. What we are saying is that the process through which people come into office is far more fundamental than even what they do when they're office. If the process is faulty, you're likely going to have bad governance. You're not likely to have corrupt governance because the process through which they come into office is corrupt and they will sustain the corruption. If it is bad, it is going to be bad because there's no way people can come from a bad process and do the right thing. Well, for the Nigerian citizens, we've gone through bad governance enough that this is time for us to take charge. It is time for us to say enough is enough. Because that process, faulty process we're allowing, is allowing poor education of our children, allowing increased infant mortality because of no primary health care, allowing hunger, despair, unemployment. So this is time for us to know that fighting the electoral process and making sure it's right is about fixing what is bad in our country. Thank you.
The truth remains that if Nigeria should miss P2B come 2027, then we miss a real savior sent from God, because this man understands that there's no way a leader that enters a seat in a wrong way will ever be a good leader. Because he always said that for it to be called an excellency, your way to the seat must be excellent. But let's ask ourselves the question: was the way to Tinubu becoming our president excellent? The answer is no, because we know that they rigged the election last 2023. So if the leader does not get to the seat in a right way, there's no way he's going to carry out a right policy that can benefit that country. So that, by the way, let me like us take a look at what Kenneth said. He said that he doesn't have any issue with it, but he's going to support anybody that wins the ADC ticket. Just take a listen. I'll see you guys in a minute.
INEC is a creature of the law, and INEC should or ought to be independent in the pursuit of all its functions and in the exercise of all its powers. Not even the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria has any power over INEC. So we should not come to the level in this country where we should be applauding people when they do what they are paid to do. INEC has simply done its job according to the law. But because we are no longer used to agencies doing their jobs according to the law, we still need to say thank you. Yeah, because it has become something now commendable. Because in Nigeria, it looks odd when an agency does its job.
They do their job according to the law. INEC has always maintained that it does its job according to the law. But that has not been the perception of a lot of political actors,
including me.
So when we bring this to the fore and say, is this an indication that INEC will be fair? Because part of what INEC has been accused of over the years is not being fair, is not been conducting, elections that will be free and fair, so to speak, and maybe has not lived up to the promises that it delivers. These are some of the complaints that INEC has suffered over the years. So do you think that with this, in spite of all that is currently going on within the ADC, people who feel like they have been displaced by the coming in of, new actors into this party, and yet INEC says, look, these are the people we recognize without fear, without prejudice, without anything. Do you think that it's an indication to you, whom you have not exactly shied away from the fact that you've criticized INEC in the past? Do you think it's an indication that they'll be fair in the 2027 elections?
Well, what I'm going to say is that INEC was fair in the dealing of recognizing David Mark and Rauf Ogbeni Aregbesola as the chairman and secretary of ADC. Whether it will be fair in election is a hypothetical question, but we pray that there should be no technical glitch. As you know, I've searched through the Constitution and the Electoral Act, and I've not found technical glitch in it. So they should stop importing extraneous, issues into what they are doing. They should stay with the law, like they stayed with the law in the recognition of David Mark and Aregbesola as national chairman and secretary. Please, may I use this opportunity to plead with you and all the media houses around Nigeria. There is nothing like the David Mark-led, as if there is any other faction. If there is any other national chairman or secretary of ADC, kindly tell me, because I know of only David Mark and Aregbesola.
All right, let's talk about this.
We are moving on in that.
So
there is only one ADC.
This court order, though. This court order, though,
it's not a new party.
Yes.
ADC is older than APC. It started somewhere in 2005. So this issue of people coming in to say they are dissatisfied, people that came even yesterday, it is funny and ridiculous. Nobody that ought to be satisfied is dissatisfied in ADC. None.
Okay. This court order, that I want to be able to read it out exactly.
Proceed.
Because what we're seeing, at least what people are saying, is that Honorable Nafiu Balagombe has won the case. And that the court has said that David Mark and the other people mentioned this should not, Rauf Aregbesola, should not be parading themselves as leaders of that particular party. But, you know, just so people can understand exactly what, it's an order of interim injunction restricting the fourth defendant from recognizing the second and third defendants as the national chairman and national secretary. So the fourth defendant is INEC, and they're saying the second and third, that's David Mark and Aregbesola. So it's an order of interim injunction restraining the fourth defendant, that's INEC, from recognizing the second and third defendants as the national chairman and national secretary of their agents, cohorts, and privies of the first defendant's respondent hearing, pending the hearing of the motion on notice already filed in this matter.
Yeah, sorry. What you just read is not the order of the court. That's the prayer of the applicant.
It says order in the Federal High Court of Nigeria.
The order. The order of the court is that this relief being sought by the applicant is hereby refused. So I have the copy of the order here.
All right, so let's hear what's really going on here.
All right, so if you want me to read to you the order of the court, he said, it is hereby ordered as follows. 1, that the plaintiff applicant's application dated and filed 2nd of September 2025 is refused. 2, that an order of this honorable court is hereby made directing the plaintiff applicant to put the defendants on notice. 3, that the defendants' respondents are hereby ordered by this honorable court to show cause why the application should not be granted. 4, that case is adjourned to 15th day of September 2025 for the respondents to show cause.
So the matter is not over.
Now, let me now talk as a lawyer.
Okay.
You do not use interim interlocutory injunction on an action that is already executed. If you check, they were asking that INEC should not recognize.
Yes.
It was refused. Now, INEC has recognized. You can no longer go by the way of injunction. So this is dead like dodo. They can only proceed to begin to plead their cause as in the substantive suit. And after the hearing, that's when the judgment will come.
Well, you say that all the people that should be happy.
So this case is dead.
All the people that should be happy are happy. That's
Very
what you
well.
said. That's what you said.
Yes, that should be happy are happy. And they include the National Working Committee that resigned voluntarily and in accordance with the ADC Constitution, Article 1914 1X.
It's interesting. I like your choice of words when you say all the people that should be happy. Because it doesn't say all the members of the party are happy.
Nowhere, anywhere, all the members of the party will be happy in any decision whatsoever.
Yeah, but you know,
the ones that should be happy.
The people that were in the party, some of the people that were in the party, especially those who played prominent roles in the party.
Like who?
For instance, exactly. Who was the presidential candidate in the last elections in 2023? clearly has not been happy with the developments in the ADC. Even before this injunction came or this recognition by INEC, he thinks that this takeover has just been an ambush of sorts. And I do not know what you make of people like him, who he's the most prominent of all the people that we have, that we have interviewed, because he was the presidential candidate. You also have a number of other people across the different states who seem unhappy. Yeah. What do you think that this sort of unhappiness could cause for the ADC moving forward?
First and foremost, you just read this court ruling. I did not hear the name of Kachuku. So he is not a party to any suit that I'm aware of. Then secondly, you said he was. 2023 election is concluded and gone.
Is he still a member of the party?
Well, presently, by the decision of the NEC, which they have the power by the control of ADC to do, he is not. Because he was suspended legitimately by the Constitution. Every constitution has its own rules.
So his happiness is inconsequential?
It is completely inconsequential. As far as I didn't meet him in the ADC, he was already suspended before I came into ADC. And so I cannot comment on a person who is not a member of ADC.
A suspension
by
is not
the
an expulsion.
of ADC.
A suspension is not an expulsion. He's suspended. If you say he's suspended,
yes,
he's still a member. He's on suspension.
While Fubara is suspended as the governor of Rivers State, can he perform as the governor of Rivers State?
Doesn't mean he's not governor of Rivers State.
But I'm trying to tell you that he has been expelled from the party.
So you're changing so it's no more a suspension. You're saying maybe he has been expelled from the party.
Because his own was not ratified. When they called back all the members that have been, expelled before, his own was sustained in the last NEC. So for now, he's not a member of the party. And even in suspension, all your rights are suspended.
Can we know why? Why wasn't he called back? What happened?
No, you see, sorry to say this, but naturally there are people who are professional troublemakers.
Is a professional troublemaker?
I said naturally there are some people who are professional troublemakers. Because why would you not like people coming into your party to consolidate your party, make it relevant for better future for Nigeria and for your party? Why? I've asked around, because I'm a man who wants to fight for justice. I've asked around, asked the leaders of the party, why is this person, why is he implacable? Why can't he be placated?
You didn't. He
wasn't
consulted.
No, who told you that?
Was he consulted before he took over the party that he was the presidential candidate?
18 months negotiation was held. Can't you see that every opposition leader is a party to this? Do you know in Nigeria what it takes to bring all the opposition leaders together, and all of them consented to ADC? It took a while, negotiation. Everybody was calling, including him. I don't understand his grounds. Nobody took your position. Nobody is saying you should not participate in all the activities of the party. Why are you distressed? He made one comment that was very revealing in his last interview. He said, because INEC chairman is about to leave, he has now started showing his displeasure against the president. What has the president to do with INEC's job of recognizing a political party? Is he now admitting that he's working in tandem with APC? This was his own comment. Now, is he now admitting that APC is not happy that ADC is now fully recognized by INEC? You see, we have to be very careful, because at times people reveal their intention without even knowing that they have done it.
Also in that interview,
and look at
his issue was also, his issue during that interview was also about the quality of the people who are now inside this party.
Okay.
He says that these people are the ones who ran this country aground.
Interesting.
And are they coming to rescue Nigerians from themselves? That was the question he asked.
You see, that's a different thing. The Constitution does not allow you to stop any Nigerian from joining a political party. Said your political party, as a condition to be registered, must be open to Nigerians. So, and I'm asking with respect, what is he in the party to be the gatekeeper of who comes in and who goes out?
Former presidential aspirant of the party.
That is not a party position. So the party is allowed. In the constitution of ADC, I can't find former presidential candidate. So he's not an officer of the party. He's not working with any organ of the party. So what gave him the power to be the gatekeeper of the people who comes into ADC and who goes out of ADC? He doesn't have such powers. And we are a nation of laws. So rule of law means that everything should be done in accordance with the law. Now, look at David Bonaventure Alechenumak. Look at such a distinguished person who has told us his leadership vision. The leadership vision of David Mark on, for ADC. 1, internal democracy. 2, collective leadership. 3, technical competence. Structured financing. Inclusivity that will ensure 35% affirmative action to women and youth participation. Look at him talking about unity and security of Nigeria, talking about progressive governance, talking about, above all, zero tolerance for indiscipline and corruption. This is his leadership vision, openly stated. And then, why would you not allow such a man to bring about a great Nigeria? What is your problem? We are all keying into this wonderful vision that will ensure internal democracy, that will ensure the security and welfare of Nigerians through progressive governance. Everything David Mark has stated. And from his background as a military officer, you know how disciplined they are? This is such a disciplined gentleman. Former Senate president. During the time he was the Senate president, our Senate enjoyed the greatest calm, no upheaval throughout, yet they maintained their stand on certain things. Have you forgotten the doctrine of necessity? This is the great son of Nigeria that ensured that Nigeria's boat did not capsize.
All right, Mr. Okonkwo, I think that the credentials of your leadership is very well out there. So we will wait and see, how Mr. Kachiko views this recognition from INEC with regards to the ADC. But then there have been other developments. Last time when you were on this program, we did take you up on, zoning, which you say you would not support your party to zone, and you do not see the need for it as we go into the 2027 elections. However, yesterday we saw a meeting between Mr. Peter Obi and former President Goodluck Jonathan, who, who has been wooed, or who people, a number of political parties are saying, look, if we are to actually go with the zoning formula and for parties to even have trust, maybe he will be the most viable candidate for the ADC to woo into its fold, or even the PDP to woo into its fold, to give the APC a good run for its money. But are you reading any meaning into that meeting that happened between Mr. Peter Obi and President Goodluck Jonathan?
In a democracy, the way that you reach decision is by dialogue, by compromise, by meetings, by conferences, by conventions, by congresses. So it is absolutely in order for politicians to meet and then take the decisions that they believe is in their own best personal interest and in the interest of the nation. And so we encourage dialogue amongst all our leaders.
Is the ADC...
Fantastic.
All your leaders, sorry,
yes.
Specifically, are you saying ADC leaders?
Absolutely.
Because President Goodluck Jonathan has not joined the ADC, last we checked.
Sure.
Is he being wooed by the ADC?
I told you this the last time I came here. We are wooing everybody.
Including Goodluck Jonathan.
Including Keller. Including Malcolm.
Including Goodluck Jonathan. Including Goodluck
everybody.
Jonathan.
Let me tell you the truth. In ADC, we emphasize membership even more than positions. And that reminds me about the sacrifice of Ralph Nwosu, a president or a national chairman of a party, stepping down in the interest of consolidating his party. The last time that he was asked, what is now your position? He said, floor member. Because the members of a political party, the people of a country, they are the bosses in a democracy. Democracy is the government of the people. We emphasize membership in ADC. Like I told you, David Mark said collective leadership. Everybody in ADC, every member is treated as a leader with equal respect, but no matter your position. So that's why we are emphasizing membership And the sacrifice that Ralph Nwosu has engendered in the party is carrying all of us along. You must be willing to make sacrifice.
Can you really waive, when you see this kind of meeting between Mr. Peter Obi and President Goodluck Jonathan, can you still dismiss, again, with a wave of the hand, this issue of zoning, which quite a number of people think will be really significant in the 2027 elections?
Now, what is zoning? Zoning is, if you consider section 14, subsection 3 and 4, it said that the composition of a government and the conduct of its affairs should be conducted in a manner that will ensure that there will be no predominance of an ethnic group or a section in a government in order to prevent dominating others. Just like what APC is doing now, that the president is appointing everything that is important, Yoruba, everything, by whatever name you call, that is important. So that offends zoning. So when you talk about
zoning, that's
whether
federal,
we are going to,
that's federal character.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So
that's
zoning
not the
basically,
same thing as zoning.
No, that is where the concept of zoning came. That every unit, federating unit, must be accommodated. For instance, the Constitution said in the election of your members of the executive of your party, 2/3 of the members must cover 2/3 of the states of Nigeria. That's zoning. So there's nowhere in the,
I'm sorry to, you know,
there's no way in the Constitution.
Just a moment. I think it's important for us so that our viewers are not confused.
Yes.
They are
question.
closely related.
Yes.
The issue of zoning and federal character, but they're not quite the same thing.
No, you are talking about, when you talk about
we're talking about the leadership of you know, of the presidential candidate, leadership of the party. Yes.
Good. Now, if you're saying it under ADC, and let me say this, zoning in terms of presidential election by any party is advisory. There is no way you can, it's not constitutional. You cannot. The party can advise. APC in 2023, they said Lawan is the candidate chosen by APC, who eventually emerged. Tinubu. Tinubu said no. He's going to contest. And he's allowed by the Constitution to do so. So it's advisory. So what ADC is saying, in order to avoid rancor amongst us, I told you that the first leadership vision of David Mark is internal democracy. We are going to allow a free and fair contest where every aspirant should come in, contest, and whoever wins, the party will support that person.
Has that decision been taken already?
No, ADC has not even started having meetings.
Yeah, so how do you know that this is the stance of the ADC? Because
that is what the Constitution says. That is what internal democracy says. Irrespective of whatever ADC says, you must still allow whoever wants to contest to contest.
These primaries that have been thrown open to everybody.
No, it's not. Like I said, constitutionally, you can't restrict it.
It's going to be open primaries.
You know, I wanted to explain to you what zoning was actually saying. Well, if the president now emerges, whether against the zoning that remains of the party, the president will now have to ensure that he makes his appointment to reflect the federal character. That was where I was coming.
Okay. So the primaries that were thrown open in ADC for everybody to contest,
every interested
person.
Yes, in line with internal democracy.
So it's not an articleship?
No, how can it be?
Okay.
It's not possible. It is not just possible. This ADC was formed by negotiation of all the political opposition leaders. You saw them during the unveiling time. So I'm really surprised. Look, Atiku, as a Democrat, must go into primary. Let me tell you what happened. And you can check my interviews.
Okay.
When I was in Labour Party, as a spokesperson of P2B, I said Labour Party cannot reserve presidential ticket for P2B. Go and check my interviews. That he must go through primaries and emerge so that nobody will be dissatisfied. Then I was supporting him wholly. So I want you to understand the beauty of going into primaries so that you will attract other aspirants. And when they come into primary, whoever wins, they will be the support base that he would have from all the zones that will help him to win the general election. Winning the primary election does not make you president. The most important thing is the general election.
I'm still unclear as to what changed, though.
Yeah.
I mean, with your support for Mr. Peter.
No personal reason. I made it clear that Labour Party as our base, whatever happens to that party has happened to our alliance.
Why?
That is just it.
He's
not a member.
He's not, well, we don't know.
Well, he's a member by word of mouth of the ADC.
Of the ADC.
Good.
Well, so we would think that
your alliance
will continue with him in the ADC.
I have told you that whoever wins the election of ADC in the presidential primary, I will support. Yes, but I have told you that if Labour Party, that was the foundation of our relation, we met ourselves in Labour Party, is no longer there. Going forth will be a new arrangement. And you have the right to decide what you will do going forth.
So there's no impasse between both of you?
Don't know what?
There's no impasse between both of you?
We don't have any personal problem with my brother P2B. Nothing.
Okay.
No, nothing at all. No personal problem. Politically, I've told you my own strategy. What I think is a winning strategy. That's a different thing altogether.
Okay. Well, so as we move forward now, because, I mean, we do know that somehow the political temperature will now start to rise as political parties find their footing. The PDP is hoping to hold its convention in November. What are the next steps now for the African Democratic Congress?
The next step is consolidation. We have crossed the main hurdle. You know, a lot of people have been saying, even before we arrived, they say we were dead. I say, how can somebody who has not arrived die? You remember when they were saying dead on arrival? I said they are daydreamers. That is their wish. Now that we have been recognized by INEC according to the law, we fulfilled all the conditions, which is giving 21 days notice to INEC whenever you want to have any meeting to elect your leaders. That happened in 29 July. It is consolidation, right from the polling unit. So we will consolidate our executives from the polling unit to the ward, to the local government, to the state, and then to the national. And APC will go back to Bodilon.
Well, we also will be looking to see how that statement of yours is received by the All Progressives Congress. But we certainly will also be looking to see the development within the
All Progressive Congress, you know, by whatever name called, is now a curse on this country. Look at all the things that are going on in Nigeria. Where is your president? Vacationing in France. People are dying in Zamfara, dying in Katsina. He said he's going on vacation.
No, it was work leave.
He
said work leave.
There is no place in Nigeria that you can attract tourism, where you can walk. Look at what is going on with NEPA. Okay, now, our educational system, ASU is threatening to go on strike. Telling you the instability in the educational system. The doctors and nurses are on strike or threatening to go on strike. Telling you the instability going on in the healthcare. You just told me what is happening in the oil industry. Nupeng, this, going on strike. Telling you the instability in oil industry. Look at the contractors. Since 2024, they have not been paid. Telling you the risk that is going on in our infrastructural development. A country that the education, the healthcare, and the infrastructure are in problem is a country in distress. We have more malnourished children now in Nigeria than in Sudan. Can't you see that a woman, the child died because she couldn't afford transport to take the child to the hospital because of malaria? People are suffering. People are dying. And this president is vacationing in Paris, wearing the best of suits, laughing at the suffering of Nigerians. So God should save us from APC.
Just one moment. Are you saying then that if the presidential candidate of your party, I mean, as will emerge, you know, should clean sheet in 2027, that person will never go on leave in 4 years?
Tinubu has spent more time, almost, abroad than in Nigeria. When did he return from the last one?
That hasn't answered my question.
No. What I'm saying is, I cannot speak for any other person, but I can tell you that most serious presidents with the problems Nigeria have, I don't see them vacationing in foreign countries, promoting the tourism of that foreign countries.
I think it's a fine place to leave it, Mr. Kenneth Okonkwo.
The truth remains that there's no way somebody that is our president that entered the seat in the wrong way can be a good leader. It's not done that way. You cannot give what you don't have. If you don't have an excellent leadership in you, that means you cannot be a good leader. This is exactly what we have been hammering on. That we Nigerians are our own problem, because there's no way we can be looking for a way to remove our government. Some people are still going ahead to collect bribe to go and do an anti-protest that they want the bad government to be. Everybody in Nigeria is selfish. They are all after what they will benefit. That's just the simple truth about Nigeria. And that's the normal reason why Nigeria will not work. That's why a good Nigeria will not come, because everybody is after what to benefit them personally and not even what to benefit the whole country. Because tell me why some people in Yoruba will say that they're not going to support an Igbo brother, that they want a Yoruba to become their leader. That there's no way an Igbo man will rule them. People that have been leading this country for how many years? What have they done? This is tribalism, and this is why Nigeria can never work in Nigeria. That is also why Nigeria can never be good, because if we want it to be good, then we can decide to come together and become one in one voice. Despite our religion, that's where we are coming from. Obi always say that new Nigeria is possible, but he always emphasizes on the issue of good leadership that have good policies and that also have people in mind. We cannot have a better Nigeria with bad government. Nigeria is so much blessed. People have said this not to once, not twice, but the issue we have with bad government, because all our raw materials, where are they? They export them. Then where is the money? They collect loan. Where is the money? They remove first subsidy. Where is the money? All these things are questions that the government should answer us, but unfortunately, we have not gotten any that show that our government are not accountable, because we need accountable leaders that can give us estimate and give us what our money is used for. This is how you lead. And funny enough, Nigerians don't know anything about their own leader. We don't know the school he went to, don't know any background, don't know anything about our own president, which is very, very wrong. That's why we need leaders that can make it right. But let me go to the first about David Revolt, about P2B, and also about Kenneth Okonkwo in the comments. I will see you guys in my next video.